Hi, welcome back to Guessagaingaming. So today, just a few more update thoughts on the Division 2. Some I may have mentioned before, in fact one I definitely have. Others are specific to the fact I've got past level 40 or to level 40 and you can't get higher level than that in the Division 2, which I'll explain. And they're specific to the things that happen when you do get to that level. So the first one, which is the thing I just mentioned, is one of the things I was kind of unsure about was I've got to level 40, I've been playing on and on, I've been doing bounty missions in this game, which are what they sound like. They're just missions where you go out, you pick a bounty, there's a thing on the map where you get bounties and you can find these different, almost like contracts, although they're not quite, and you get a choice of different ones. Some are hard, some are just normal difficulty. I've been doing those. I haven't done one of the hard ones yet actually, but for the normal ones I've found that I've taken them out pretty simply. The only reason I haven't is because I've been a bit too cavalier in how I've approached them, and I've either been lazy or tired. Let's give someone water. Yeah, I've done those quite easily, but I realised that I hadn't levelled up at all for a while, and having done a little bit of research online, I realised that it's because you don't get past level 40. Once you get to level 40, you screen of inventory, and I've got to SHD level 10. I don't know if that literally equates to level 50, because it'd be SHD 10 plus level 40. But anyway, you level up on that now. I don't know if it makes a lot of difference. To be honest, I don't really care, because I think one of the reasons you level up in games is to access new areas, and as far as I can see in this game, when you're at level 40, theoretically you can access everything via your level. You can't access everything because of other reasons, but you can access everything from your level, so there's no real need to worry about what level you're leveling up to. You just get more bits and pieces to put on your points and things, but that's normal with every game, so I've not been paying attention to leveling up anymore. The other reason you continue kind of leveling up, or similar, is a proficiency thing you get with your weapons, and you can see there on the right, that's another reason why I've been running around doing the bounties, because you can see this gun I've been using, I'm now at proficiency rank 1. You can see on the right there where it says proficiency rank, and it's got that little bar, and I'm halfway through, or kind of halfway through, maybe a third through the second level of that, so that's a reason to do stuff. In this game you will never, unless you play forever, manage to get proficiency ranks in most weapons, because as you can see with that weapon, I've got a little bit of proficiency, not got to any rank up, because what will happen is you will change weapons so often. There's so many weapons in this game, and you can't even guarantee that you'll find one of the weapons again. So if I was going to level up this weapon and keep using it and get more proficiency, at some point the weapon will become lower grade than the ones I'm picking up, and I can't guarantee I'll pick another one up. So basically it's impossible to level up more than a couple of weapons. The only one I've really been leveling up, or getting more proficiency with, whatever you want to call it, it's the same thing actually, is this shotgun, which I'm now proficiency rank 5. I use some components at the base which you can do to level up one of your weapons, or any weapon you want. So that's one way of doing it at the White House, which is the main base. But also you get proficiency by using it, and this is the first shotgun I kind of found that I really liked. It was the one that did the most damage, at least early in the game. It still does virtually the most damage, and so I've stuck with it. And it also looks the most kind of military based one. I don't know anything about military guns, but lots of the shotguns in this look like the sort of shotguns you just have on a farm, or you'd have in, you know, anywhere, whereas this one looks like more smart. I don't know, anyway, so I just like this one, so I stuck with it. Even when I picked up, which I have, I'm going to find it now somewhere, yeah, I've got another shotgun that's slightly better, not hugely better, but slightly better in damage. But because, again, as I said, I'll never be able to level this up to that level, there's no point in using it, because what I do is I'll just wait, which I have done with this one gun, to find a new one of that, so I can keep using the same one, and until then I'll just keep using that because it's got good enough damage. So that's that part. What else? Who left comments on the last video I did about some of the bits and pieces in this. For example, he explained that this district union area and the other red area, which is over there, Roosevelt Island, they just stay red. That's just what they do. Because I was unsure before why that was, because in every game I've ever played, I think, if you complete an area, it will clear by changing colour, and the control points and the settlements they did, but this didn't. So I didn't know if I'd done something wrong, but he said that's normal. So anyway, so that's good, and thanks to him for that. But it's not a game that explains itself really well, and again, I've got some help from Brandon and some other people online that have explained some bits to me, because again, these things where it says main mission and it says undiscovered mission, again, I now understand that I need to do some missions with the Black Tusk, and it does say there, infiltrate the Black Tusk outpost, but it doesn't really explain where that is or what to do, and it doesn't put that in the same box as the White Oak mission, and it also keeps telling me every time I log in to go and do that mission. So it's not a great game. There's a lot going on in this game. It's absolutely overwhelming, and I think it would be even if it wasn't an online game, and I'm not used to playing online games or multiplayer games, but I think even if it wasn't, it would be an overwhelming amount of different things and different things going on in the game, things you can level up, things that are happening, all these different bits and pieces. It's overwhelming, and the game, things going on, and it doesn't really explain how you're meant to progress sometimes or why things are happening. So it's a really good game to play, and it's very simple to get hang of what to do. And when you're doing the missions, which is what I've just been doing it as, whether it's the bounty missions or the main missions before, that's simple. You can understand your objective. He said, sounding like a military person, you can understand your objective and what you're meant to do, but the overall way the game works is complicated. It's hard to understand. And that's partly, like I said, because I'm not used to this kind of game, but I don't think it does explain itself well. I think it would be much more helpful if, when this thing's on the screen, as with many games, it kind of told you what you need to do or how that wasn't accessible yet, rather than just give you a vague thing. And again, this doesn't tell you anything about why that's red. You just have to kind of lump it. So yeah, it's not a game that explains itself really well, especially to someone who doesn't understand these kind of games, and obviously there's going to be people playing this game that don't understand this kind of game. So yeah, but it's all good. Like I said, you get a bit of help, you get a bit of watch a few videos of people playing or people telling you how to play, and that will help you progress, which I'm going to have to do as well. So another thing which I mentioned before, but it's still my pet peeve with this game, it's my ultimate peeve in this game actually, is that you don't pick up any more adult clothing when you get to level 40. I know it's been mentioned that it's because picking up pencils and crayons and kids' socks and loads of military stuff and loads of everything else, you just don't get adult clothing. So there's no world, especially this world in a city, where you'd still be picking up kids' clothing and socks and pencils and crayons and loads of military stuff where you wouldn't be picking up adult clothing. So the game's very badly optimised with that. Again, I think they're doing it because they want you to buy clothing in the store. But for whatever reason, that's very bad optimisation in the context of the balance, because either do it that there's very little resources to find at level 40, so you've got everything and there's very few of anything that you don't pick up either by buying or in a mission, or do it that there's lots of everything. But to narrow one thing down, which it wouldn't be in the real world, in a city like this, the one thing that there would be an abundance of is rather old used adult clothing. There wouldn't be loads of caches of military hardware. Why would that be like that? That doesn't make sense. Okay, it's fine because it's how the game works, but there wouldn't be. And if there's that, why wouldn't there be lots of adult clothing lying around? And if there's kids' clothing, why wouldn't it be? So it doesn't make sense to the game, and it's annoying, because one of the fun things in this game was you ran around and you didn't find adult clothing often, but when you did, you thought, oh, this is great, a new pair of sunglasses, a new hat. And in any game that's a looting game, which this is, it's a looter shooter, then part of what's fun is looting, and at a certain point you don't need all the components and the resource amount of military things you pick up in this game, the amount of backpacks and gloves that are all the same level you've already got. They've just got slight differences. Some are set, some aren't. Knee pads. It's ridiculous. You don't need all that. There's no way you can keep thinking, is that slightly better than that, and does that one benefit me a bit more than that one? And there's way too much of that. Even weapons, I would say, compared to the fact you don't pick up any adult clothing. So it doesn't make any sense to how the game is or how the world's meant to be. It's just one of those gamey things. And I hate gamey things in games where it's just something that's set in the game that doesn't make sense in the real world the game's trying to establish. So that I don't like, and there's no way around that. There's no way that makes sense. They've just done it like that, and I think it's dumb and stupid. But it's not the end of the world. It's just, yeah, I don't like that. Apart from that, the other thing that I have noticed in this game, which is, again, not a deal breaker, it's just something I've noticed by playing a lot, is there are loads, I won't be able to show you now because I won't find them, there are loads and loads of dogs all over the place. Loads and loads of dogs. There's also deer and other wildlife running all over the place, but you really don't ever see any cats. And I don't know why that would be, because cats survive in the wild just like dogs and deer, with wild cats. Was that a cat? Hang on, that's going to be really weird. Come out from under that car. Sure, it might have been a squirrel, but anyway, you'll have to decide. But it's always the way that you say there's something in a game, and then when you go there, you see it immediately. But yeah, there's just very few cats in this game. I don't know why that is. There's loads of dogs and loads of deer. Loads of dogs. Are these baddies? No, they're not. Okay. So yeah, it's a weird thing, but like I said, that's not a problem. It's just something I've noticed having played the game a lot. There's just way more dogs than cats, and even when you go around the back alleys and into the gardens of places, there's just no cats. Lots of whatever that was. Is that a rat? There's rats and squirrels and deer and dogs, but if that was a cat I just saw, it would be the first one, and it probably only turned up because I mentioned cats. So yeah, other than that, like I said, I like this game a lot. How I continue with it will depend on how I manage to progress next. So with the advice I've got, I'm going to need to do the Black Tusks mission to unlock Camp White Oak. I know I need to do this mission down here. I'm not sure what that will unlock, but I need to do this capital building mission. The reason I haven't is because, as with Roosevelt Island, which took a while and it was hard, I know that because you can't save during a mission, and if you come out of it you lose the whole progress, I'm going to need to devote at least an hour or two in a day where I can continue playing without any interruption, and if I get killed or get knocked back, I'm going to have to continue until I finish it, and I haven't had the time to do that, but I am going to do that. So the next video I make about this game will be either when I complete the capital mission as to what happened then and what that unlocks, if anything, or when I complete any of these Black Tusk missions and can unlock Camp White Oak. Anyway, thanks for watching Guessagaingaming, playing The Division 2. Till next time, take care for now.